Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Man Made Podcast KE with your host, Stephen Baki. And
I am Silas. Yeah.
karibuni sana. This is episode 3. You've been with us on this journey so far, and we've covered quite a few interesting traits, and we're getting feedback. And let me tell you, first of all, I just want to shout out one Joseph Mathenge from the YouTube page. And he left a really good comment about resilience. What every man needs to hear. Hardship builds resilience and capability, which in turn leads to prosperity and comfort. But a prolonged absence of struggle can foster weakness, thus creating the conditions for future adversity. Tough times indeed create strong men. Keep the great content coming. We appreciate that. We really appreciate such feedback coming in. And we encourage every single person who's watching our content to give us those reviews. Hata mali unaona tunasema kitu na hai. It's not, you feel as though you can have a different contrasting opinion, we welcome. Because by all means, conversation is what keeps people growing and keeps people learning. And we're here to learn and we're here to grow. So yeah, first of all, I would like to start with a quick check-in. Mi nimekuwa poa kwanza. I'd like to say over the weekend, we're recording on a Wednesday. We usually record typically on a Monday. Over the weekend, my team won. Last minute. Beautiful scenes. Another thing that happened is I got my voice back. My voice is kind of back to 100 from the previous recording. Just in time for another gig this Sunday. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward to doing that again. Yeah. Sela umekuaje?
I am struggling.
Hey.
we are struggling. We are struggling, but
Can you tell the viewers why you're struggling?
I'm not a happy man where I am. I will stop supporting other men making an impact of their lives. That team, Manchester United, has a problem. I don't know what the problem is.
Could it be that maybe you're lacking a bit of discipline?
I think so. But let me concentrate on things that will take me to heaven, or concentrate on important things
that will build you.
That will build me. Let me have discipline. But anyway, I've been good. Watched the episode. You know, sometimes it's funny, but I go back and watch these episodes. Many of the people who record don't go back to watch. I actually watch every episode. And by the time we are uploading, I watch it like 3-4 times. So I know every part. Because sometimes it's important for creating the shots on TikTok. And we have a lot of engagement on TikTok.
That's true. How many followers right now, by the way?
We are at 43K.
Wow.
43K. I've gotten calls.
Shout out to every single one.
Yes.
Follow on TikTok or on socials, yeah.
I've gotten a lot of calls. I've done some, I don't like the word coaching, but I've done some sessions with some people, those of us who get our numbers from the TikTok page and they call. I always take that with a lot of humility. When a man, it takes a lot from a man to come and ask for help.
That's
or
true.
Advice.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're generally cultured to always figure things out. We are expected to figure things out. Like we always say, the world doesn't care about how you feel as a man. The world only care about your utility or your productivity or your value. Utility we learned in business is the ability of I think, our goods and services being useful. So a man is only as valued as he is useful to the world. And so we've talked, and there is a lot of stories, a lot of them. I hear stuff, and sometimes I think guys who are talking to me on phone are lying. Sometimes I think it's a made-up story. Have you ever heard a story that is out of this world, and it's almost as if it's made up? It's almost as if it's not real. But then again, why would someone make up a story and we talk for hours and hours on end? And so I learn as I listen to people, and I also believe that they learn as they listen to me. And so that is how my weekend has been, despite the the sports arena, which I am trying to avoid as
Trying
much
to
as
avoid.
possible.
Ah,
Yes. Siki.
last time, if you guys were paying attention, he had a Manchester
I
United
was in a
jersey.
Manchester jersey.
Let's see whether that jersey will, another jersey of Manchester will reappear on this set.
Now I'm in a black plain t-shirt.
Mourning.
No logo, no nothing.
Are you mourning?
Yes. We strip all the titles, no logos, no nothing. There is nothing to smile about.
So I'd just like to first of all mention our grounding beliefs. This podcast, this series is anchored on very, very specific beliefs. And the first one is that the triune God created man in his own image and likeness, and he created them male and female. The second is that we, all men, us included, every single man out there, exceedingly sinful and in need of a savior. The third one, there is only perfection in one man, or there has ever only been perfection in one man, and that is Christ, who is also the second person of the Trinity. And he is the person we're looking to emulate. He is the man who is continually transforming us into his likeness. And so, yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. It's the, tumeko kombele. So follow us as we follow Christ. And when you study history, you will find that however impressive a man is, there will always be shortfalls. There will always be issues, deficiencies. Yeah. So emulate what is good, but also strive for Christ, because he is the embodiment of perfection. So just like to recap, we did 2 traits for those who are watching, and you've been following through. We've touched courage, we've talked about resilience, a few very interesting stories on both those traits. Now, today we've also hinted the trait that we're kind of going to talk about, which is discipline. That's the word that has been mentioned. That's the word of the day, discipline. And in courage, I remember we talked about Bridger Walker, that story. In resilience, the very, very historically interesting story of Ernest Shackleton being stranded in Antarctica for almost 2 years. Yeah. And every single man surviving. So we touched on that, and today we want to touch on discipline. Discipline now is one trait that is very interesting. We see it primarily in prime athletes, in people who are in the sports arena. For you to be by the top 5% athlete in the world, that is not an easy feat. It's not like everyone can be that, because if everyone could be that, everyone would be that.
Yeah.
First of all, it's very high paying, it's very high value. You get such endorsements. Every brand is looking for you and everything. But for you to be a top 5% athlete. So we see discipline primarily in the sports arena, because for you to compete, to be in competitive sports, you have to be very, very fit. You have to be fitter than your opponents. If your opponents are this level of fitness, you have to meet the marginal gains. Lazima after the how you can usurp them one way or another. And so that's how competitive sports ends up like being one of the most prime examples of discipline. And even in the Bible, it talks about like running a race like an athlete, this with
And
endurance.
running by the rules.
Yeah, and running by the rules. So, yeah, when I think of discipline, that's what I think about. I don't know what you think about, Silence, when you think about the word
I
discipline.
have a very unconventional definition of discipline.
Yeah.
And I got this from those guys you're talking about, one of the athletes. And he says that discipline is doing what you hate and doing it as though you love it.
Yeah.
Doing what you hate to do
And doing as though you love
doing
it.
it as though you love it. He says that discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline is doing what you hate. 90% of the time, these things that make us strong, the things that make us able, the things that make us who we are, the things that put people on the top 5% of men or women.
In any domain.
In any domain.
Yeah.
Be it sport, be it business, be it relationship. Because I say sport, business, relationships, power, they all use the same dynamics. It's all the same thing. And he says those people who are top 5% of this in these domains, they have one courage. They have one thing. It's not that they like doing what they like or what they do. It's just that they do it anyway. You don't have to like it. You have to do it. If it is discipline in sports, you have to be disciplined. And you don't have to like the training. A lot goes on behind the scenes. What people see is that 90 minutes of footballers running. But that 90 minutes, I can guarantee you, there's a lot of hours. We were seated here, and when we are doing these episodes, we're not just coming here to wing. I'm not just coming here to wing. When you see me speak here for 1 hour or having a conversation for 1 hour, how many hours do you think we have put into getting
prepare,
that content?
to do the
to
research,
prepare, to do the research, to study, to listen to other podcasts that talk about the things that we are talking about, so that we make sure that we are relevant. So discipline is doing what you don't like doing and doing it as though you like it. Doing it like your life depends on it.
Wow.
Doing it like your life depends
Do you know, you've mentioned athletes, and there's this Kenyan legend who just made a name for himself in the javelin throwing, Julius Yego.
Yego.
Yeah, and when I think about his story, because there's a time it was documented, I think, on Citizen, and how he started learning from. There were no training facilities for javelin throwing, and I'm just like, for you to achieve what he has achieved, honestly, to be representing Kenya in the Olympics, and to even now be like a world beater in a sense. That must have taken quite some doing and quite some level of, like, I think, yeah, that's one person I think I would love to like sit down and listen to, like, intently. Honestly, what was your journey like? How did it get to where you have gotten? And that is very interesting. And there's a quote here. So courage is often about decisive moments. Resilience is about staying power over months and years. And in discipline, we talk about the structure that allows both courage and resilience to be expressed consistently. So in a sense, discipline is also something that is kind of needed, like the way resilience is needed across your lifetime. Discipline is also needed across one's lifetime for you to be able to achieve the results that you kind of need. For you to be decisive in moments and to also be able to rise again from setbacks.
Do you know you cannot be resilient if you're not disciplined? You can't. There's no way, because resilience is keeping at it. We said resilience is keep doing it. Discipline is what makes you continue doing it, or what makes you.
So they are very closely tied together.
They are brother and sister, two sides of the same coin. Because we live in a world right now that is very indisciplined.
Yeah.
Or there is lack of that discipline. We don't discipline ourselves in terms of what comes out of our mouth, in terms of words. There is the freedom of speech that people have abused. Saying freedom of speech doesn't mean that you can say anything. You're just free to speak. But you need to calculate your word. We have lost discipline in how we eat.
Yeah.
Diabetes and obesity is becoming a major global pandemic. And it's because, you're a product of what you eat.
Oh, that's true.
Don't talk about genes or stuff. You're what you eat. So discipline is, can you control what gets into your mouth? Are you able to control what gets into your mouth? We cannot control our impulses. Adrenaline hormone is always coming out.
Yeah.
We cannot control the pleasures, when we have pleasure, when we don't.
Yeah.
That's where we get addiction. Addiction is indiscipline. Because addiction is being mastered by something that shouldn't. As a human being, nothing should be able to master you. You should be in control. You should be on the driver's seat of your life in everything. In your love life, in your eating habits, in your pleasure times. You have those times that you do those things that you don't like. So we are living in a world that does not cherish discipline.
Yeah.
And therefore, the only thing you need to do as a man, I'm talking to men, and I know even ladies can do this. The only thing you need to do in this current world that we live in is just do something a little bit extra. You're almost at the top 5%. Just do something a little extra. We are so out of control. We're so out of control. We cannot even discipline our children. We can't. Nowadays, we negotiate.
Yeah.
We have demonized that enforcing of discipline. If today someone maybe does something to their child that would not necessarily augur well with the world, including using the rod, which I know has been demonized.
Oh yeah, that's also another thing I think about when I think about the word discipline. Where?
Yes.
Kutandikwa.
Yes, for us, it was used on us properly. Mine. It
Are
was
you
used
out
on
of
me.
line? I will beat you back in
Yes.
line.
it was used on me. I'm not saying
Yeah.
the vindictive kind of,
Yeah.
there is that vindictive kind of beating where somebody comes to unwind with you or to get rid of their stress. They're stressed, but they're coming to take it on you. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about a time we have lost that discipline. We cannot regulate ourselves. Regulate is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
We cannot regulate ourselves. Everything is out of control. Everything is in excesses. When people go for those people who drink, when they go for parties, it's not just going to have a good time. It's going to drink and people fall down and all those things. We have lost control in general over everything. And that is why we are rising, or there is a rise of people
Yeah.
who are coming to tell human beings, and specifically men, because I blame men more, specifically men, that we need to be in control. We need to have to be on the driver's seat. We need to have a little of this, a little of that, and then it makes the whole person. Rather than having a lot of this and then you lack in every other area. So we have made sacrifices at the altar of indiscipline, which is something that has really eroded masculinity.
Yeah.
Right now, you can see how many people are coming out to talk about men do this, men do this. It's because of a void. There's a void there. There's a gap they are trying to fill. It says nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
There can be no vacuum. And since there's a reason a vacuum in masculinity, that's why so many people are coming to fill that gap. Yeah, so we are living in a time where we are very reckless with how we live.
Let me tell you, when I chose this topic, I was also looking inward. I was looking at the areas in my life where I have not shown discipline. And I came prepared. I was like, hey, Steve, are you ready to actually talk about discipline? Because this is something that is going to hit home.
Yeah.
There's a rebuke that we learned. Yeah. And remember, we have the objectives: to refocus, rebuke, and repurpose, man. Like, those are major objectives. And this rebuke, I'm ready to hear it, because there are areas in which we kind of overlook and we give excuses for where we are not necessarily doing this or this or this. Which we are meant to do, even though we know we're supposed to do it.
Before you continue, in the medieval times, during those times of wars and all those things, men were dying in the battlefield. Death rate has not gone down. It is still there. Men are dying. But nowadays, men are dying of food. Men are dying of other things other than the battlefield. We are still dying. So we have sacrificed. Those guys used to find fulfillment in the battlefield. The conquerors, the Julius Caesars of those times. They used to find the Spartacus of those times. They used to find fulfillment in dying in battle. It was an honorable death. I was dying defending my country. I died defending my people. I died defending my village. I died for our own pride. In our times, we are still dying. But we are dying because we cannot control our impulses. That's what we are dying from.
There's an impulse control problem.
Yes, because we cannot control our appetites. We cannot control what gets into our mouth. We cannot control what we watch. We cannot control what we eat. We cannot control how we the pleasure moments in our lives. We want it every time. And so we end up sinking into more and more of these vices that causes us to erode that which, because I like to think about, and this is my own personal view. This is how I view myself when I'm going through, when I'm struggling with something. Let's say I'm addicted to something,
Yeah.
or I feel, or I'm losing discipline in a certain area. I ask myself, how will these people, if we ever meet them, or when we meet them, what will we tell these people who died in the battlefield? What will we tell these people who had nothing but resilience? They had no choice but to be resilient. What will you tell that person? What will you tell that person? Like Paul says, I bear in my body the marks that has been beaten for the sake of following, being a disciple. Huh? Because discipline also comes from.
It actually does come from the Latin
from
word,
the word, yeah,
disciplinary, which means to teach,
to teach,
to train.
and to train.
Yeah.
And what will we tell them when that time comes? I would be very scared to face a warrior and tell them that I died of some other things that signal lack of control. Yes. I wouldn't want that on myself. I'm not saying, I can't say never, but I wouldn't wish it on myself. I would wish that when I leave this world, I live honorably, having fought honorably, and living in those terms, like the men in the medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a general rule for life is choices have consequences.
Yes.
Every action has a reaction.
Yes.
It's a law in science as well. And results do not lie.
Yeah.
Results do not lie. Results speak for themselves. Results are objective.
Yes.
When someone does and goes on and does something and it's visible for people to see,
Yeah.
people can't lie about what this person has done.
Yes.
Because that thing is visible. If someone becomes the president of a certain economy and is able to reduce the cost of living and raise the standard of living and is able to have a positive influence on how, people have more money in their pockets, they're able to, the purchasing power is increased. These things, they're visible. People can be able to see them. They're indicators to show that, hey, there's a steady progress. And I think discipline in whatever domain is basically what begets that progress. There is a concept in psychology we learned about called neuroplasticity. And that is the ability of the brain to adapt and grow and change. And the conditions for that to happen are, one, you have to put in the effort and consistency across time. And that begets, so pathways are created in the brain. Even though it can take effort, even though it might take some learning, at whatever stage in life, people can learn. People can become better at things. They can adapt to changes in and around their circumstances. So pathways are created. Neurons, transmitters are formed. The brain of an older person and a younger person, the significant difference is in the amount of those neural connections, neural pathways.
Okay.
For a child, why it's so easy for a child to learn, there's this learning, why it's easier to discipline a child and teach them the right way, teach the child in the way that they should grow. What is easier to, why there's the proverb samaki mkunja angali mbichi, is because when they are young, those pathways they indicate that this person has the potential to do so much and learn so much. And if they are able to apply something consistently across time, those pathways develop faster. They become eroded if they're not used across time. So in the teenage brain, there are less neural pathways. The adult brain, less. That does not mean they can't be created, but it will take significantly more effort, significantly more discipline for you to effect that. That's why child prodigies, children, we see academies in the UK producing footballers right now younger than ever before. Like in Arsenal, we have a 15-year-old footballer in the first team. That boy goes to school, anavanga school uniform. Hajafanya GCSE zake, and he's a senior pro. Why that is able to happen is because they have learned the younger that you're able to indoctrinate or teach, the younger that you're able to equip these skills and technical ability grows and all these things. So in whatever domain, the earlier the impact is made, the better. But that doesn't mean the impact cannot be made even later. So even for the older people watching this, I think it does take effort for sure, but results do not lie. And
Yes.
there will be results. This is proof of concept. Going to the gym and start lifting weights. It is not expected that you will see results by the end of your 1 hour session that Monday or that Tuesday. But it is expected that if you do that consistently across a year, you work out maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and do that consistently. Maybe sometimes you'll fail, sometimes you'll pick it up again. But if you do that consistently for a period of time, then you will start to see results. Yeah. And you start to become in shape, get back. And we've seen multiple examples of people doing this. So discipline is quite, it's related to disciples, meaning student or disciple. So it's not just about punishment. At the root, it's about learning, it's about training, it's about being shaped and molded into something.
And I wanted to say that discipline is more mental than it is physical. All the battles that you'll ever win as a man are won in the mind. All the battles. The mind wins first.
Yeah.
The mind is the most powerful thing that you have as an individual. And that is why you see even in scripture, scriptures like Romans 12, Paul always advocating, saying, be renewed. Do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be renewed by the, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We have verses and portions of scriptures where people are being told to shift their mindset. Even shifting from worshiping idols to worshiping the one true God is a mindset issue. You shift from this worship because your mind was tuned into idols that cannot speak. But now you're told there is a God who made the heavens and the earth that you can tune to. The mind, I have come to see, is very powerful.
Yeah.
The body only follows what the mind does, or what the mind is, when the mind is set. I sit down and I listen to people, even when I'm giving advice. And we'll talk about the gym, by the way. I sit down and I listen to people. I can almost guarantee, I can almost tell you whether or not they are going to follow my advice. And I told you this
you
last
did.
time. Because it's a mindset issue. Right now, the way we are behaving, the world is the way it is because of mindset. There are people who are poor and others are rich because of mindset. You know, we have two kinds of mindset when it comes to money.
Yeah.
We have a scarcity mindset and we have an abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset person sees lack and it glorifies lack or dreads lack. The biggest God is the God of luck. So even when they get money, they are very extravagant in their spending of money. They're very extravagant. A scarcity mindset person is a person who likes to show that they have it, who has the need to show it. Is a person who's operating under a scarcity mindset. It's because they may be afraid of luck, or they may have lived in luck to the point that they have a point to prove to the world that, hey, I no longer lack. The Bible says a fool and his wealth are soon parted. A fool and his wealth are soon parted. Scarcity mindset people end up losing regardless of the amount of money they make. History has shown us that. The other mindset is an abundance mindset person. An abundance mindset person is not concerned with what they have at the moment. They may be broke at the moment, but they have an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset is a mindset of abundance. It's a mindset that says God has given this world a lot of resources. It is in plenty of supply that we have not even scratched the surface of of the resources, of the amount of resources we can get. So it is my work, even though I am broke as at now, to go into this world that has unlimited resources and get it. Such kind of a person has views life forward 10, 15, 20 years. So when an abundance mindset person, how to tell the difference between a scarcity and an abundance mindset person is when they have money. Bring two people here and give them each 1 million shillings. And I can tell you their mindset. One will want to flaunt, will want to show, I have 1 million shillings, will start insulting everyone, will start doing that. That's a poverty scarcity mindset person. Even though it is a poverty mindset person with some money, which, like the Bible says, are soon going to be parted. They're soon going to part with their money. An abundance mindset person, give them that 1 million.
Yeah.
The question that is in their mind, how do I 10x this? How do I make this 100 million? How do I make this? And they have nothing to prove. And it's all discipline. All these things is just discipline. One is indisciplined because they think that the world owes me respect, and so I must demand that respect. And their scarcity mindset lies to them that your money will give you that respect. So you remember the parable of the rich fool? Sorry, being rich is not the end of it. You become, if you are a fool and rich, you become a rich fool. So,
you're not running away from the fool.
No, the fool is there. And by the way, and I was saying this as we continue with this topic. When I was growing up, we still had the flaunters. We still had the people who were showing opulence. I remember them by name. I just can't mention them right now. Be a bit old. They disappeared. Give these opulent people who show opulence a 10-year period. They're usually gone, done, dusted, forgotten. Why? Because they're thinking of being rich, or they lack that financial discipline. So there is that financial discipline, which has scarcity and abundance mindset. Let's come to physical discipline. Hitting the gym. If today I created a video of how to get abs in 7 days, sign up. I will make money.
Lord.
But if I created another video of how to make abs in 3 years of consistent toiling, nobody will follow me. So one has a scarcity mindset.
Unaniambia 3 years. 3 years, unajua how many things I can be.
So one has a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
The other one has an abundance mindset. I've told you, abundance mindset looks at things from the future. And that's what discipline is. Because that mindset is a mindset of discipline. Because when now you come to physical exercise, I have been training for more than 3 years. For more than 3 years. It's not easy. It is daily, waking up in the morning and hitting the gym. Whether it is raining, whether the sun is out, whether I like it, whether I don't, or I don't like it, whether I feel like it or I don't feel like it, whether I am stressed or happy, hit the gym. And if you do it consistently, you do it every day, and you keep doing it, you'll get the results eventually. So an abundance mindset person knows that eventually you'll get the goal. Eventually you'll get there. You keep doing it. Today, let's get, that is the physical aspect of it. A scarcity mindset person in the physical aspect of it is those people. Have you seen these clothes that are being sold to our ladies, tummy trimmers? I want to guarantee you there is nothing that can trim your tummy other than the gym and diet.
Kula vizuri bana.
There is nothing until you put a cloth. I've seen even vests for men. This is visceral fat. Kitambi is not a sign of richness, of being rich. We were lied to. Our fathers did not tell us this. Our fathers told us that kitambi is a sign of being rich. It is visceral fat. It is unhealthy. It is unhealthy. When you have too much sugar in your body, and I'm not a doctor, but I'll just speak about what I've learned. When you have too much sugar in your body, it is stored in the cells.
Yeah.
Isn't it? When, let me not just go there before I get fat. Let me just say this in short. What you see as a big tummy is fat that has been stored, because the places where fat is stored, excess fat, is hapa mbele. Here, you see this part. Huku kwa shingo.
Yeah.
It is stored here. That's why you will see some people with some things. How do you lose this? Discipline. Number one, you have to be very particular about what enters your mouth. You start there. Don't you think I pass by those places that they sell those things and I want them? Don't you think I would like to have those?
But choices have consequences.
Choices have consequences. So discipline is where you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat this. Even though I want to, I'm not going to eat it because I know I am aiming at something far bigger and getting it is harder. That's what discipline is.
Yeah.
That is physical. Let's get to business. How do you get an abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset in business? A scarcity mindset person in business starts a business and they think that business is a source of being wealthy. Somebody told me, people may argue with this. A business is not necessarily an investment. It's not necessarily an investment. A business could be a means to an investment. Because you go and open a business, you make money from the business. Now that money, you go and do something else to make it grow. As your business is growing, that money is growing somewhere. Yeah. That's why you find this company will buy stocks. This company will invest in this. A scarcity mindset person thinks that their business is supposed to make them grow or make them become rich. So they eat it. Do you know that majority of the people who inherited fortunes worth millions are usually broke in 10 years?
Wow.
Yes. Majority of the people who inherited millions in fortune are usually broke in 10 years. Why? Scarcity mindset, a consumerism mindset. So when you go to business, an abundance mindset person, when it comes to business, they know that a business is like a child. One thing I tell people, and I've done financial red pill, never take a loan to start a business. A business is a child. A child grows. And when a child is growing, you spend on them. You will spend on it, so it will demand a lot from you. So that discipline should teach you that I'm opening this business. I'm not going to see the fruits right now. I'll see the fruits in few.
Yeah.
That's why they say, I don't know what percentage, but majority of the small businesses that are opened close in 5 years.
You see, the interesting thing, it takes, first of all, courage to set off into the business world and start it. Courage.
Yes.
You need to be resilient for quite a number of years.
Yes.
Before you're even able to recoup the money that you spent to open that business. But what will allow you to enable that structure to easy business to Meskia, they have lasted how many years?
Yes.
Decades, 50 years of running an entire organization, a business, that has been passed on from generation to generation. That takes discipline.
Yes.
There are structures that have already been set in place. These people keep learning. They keep learning about what the market is like. They keep adapting. They're resilient to the changes that come around the environment. So that discipline, it's a threefold. It's kind of like
it takes courage to start.
Yes.
Resilience to keep on.
Yeah.
Discipline to maintain. It takes discipline to maintain. You can people like to start. Physical.
January
gym membership. January people are signing up for gyms. Oh, this is my year. This is my
summer body.
Summer body. Yeah, I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
Do you know the sales, for lack of a better way to put it, in gyms in January, they skyrocket. They peak.
Inaweza kudanganya the whole year people will be coming.
Couples have made goals. They have written them down on paper. Unajua aliambiwa write them down. Journal. Guys have journaled their goals. In January, they sign up for the gym. They thought it was a journey for 2025. Maybe there's someone who go back to your journal, you who wrote it and put it in somewhere. there are people who think that it is a fast process. You can use even supplements and steroids. By the way, if you use them, you still have to work out. You can't use supplement and then sit down and then you become buffed. No, you still have to work. It is a journey, a lifelong journey. You go to the gym today, you will see nothing, Steve. You go to the gym tomorrow, you will see nothing. You go to the gym next week, you will see nothing. You go to the gym the third week, you will see nothing. You go to the gym the first month, you will see nothing other than the pain and the question that you'll be asking yourself, what on earth am I doing here? Then in the second month, you start seeing some small adjustments in your body. Small adjustments. But if you look at yourself in the mirror, you see nothing. You still see nothing. Get to the 6th month, you start seeing significant change. Your body starts changing. Get to the 1st year. People have started noticing that this guy is working out. Get to the 2nd year. 3rd year, you are in beast mode. It doesn't take a short time. When you're getting there, this is how I keep working out every day. I've done this. This is now, I'm getting to my 4th year.
And going up is the stairs. Getting there is hard.
Yes. And actually staying there.
Going down.
Yes. Going down is easy.
Yeah, it's the elevator.
Staying there. You see, staying there is what discipline is. Where staying there. Because businesses will stay afloat because of discipline. Your health will be okay because of discipline. Your business will succeed because of discipline. Discipline is what is the glue that holds things together. It is what determines longevity.
That's true.
It is what determines how long you're gonna last.
Yeah.
I get into a gym and I can almost tell you this one is going to drop out. This one at a drop. Some people even go to the gym to use their phones. You know, sometimes some people are very funny. Someone is dressed in gym's clothing and in a gym and on phone the whole time.
Yeah.
I've been there 1 hour. The whole time the guy is on the phone. You could have gone to a restaurant and taken your carbohydrates, which will cause you to want to come here. Because you've not made up that mindset. So discipline is a very important thing. Discipline runs businesses. The places that have thrived have been run through discipline. There is organizational culture. What is organizational culture? It is their discipline. It is a sum total of what their discipline is. Here, we don't do this. Now, I digress.
Even in family.
Even in family, yes.
What keeps a family together if not like two people being disciplined to, live together?
Even if you hate each other's guts, you just decide, let's stay. Let's make these things work. You see, so I was talking about our bodies. We like the results. Oh, we like buffed men. Superheroes are buffed. They look nice. We like them. We hate the journey. We hate the journey.
That's true.
If you start selling a book of how to get muscles in 7 days, it will be a bestseller.
Yeah.
We don't have that discipline. Let's talk about also our minds. When it comes to this knowledge of these things, it's a discipline of studying. Paul told Timothy, study to show yourself approved unto God, a worker who needs not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. We are required for you to build your mind, for you to become wise. There's a lot of knowledge hidden in books. I hate this saying that if you want to hide anything from an African, hide it in a book. And we have owned that. You hear an African say that. Oh, we Africans don't read. Why would we own up to such useless tags of ourselves? So it is the discipline. It's those people who are disciplined that stand out. It is those people who want to sit and endure. If you want to build your mental muscle, you build it with books. Hata usikize audio books. and you do all those things. But you can't just sit and become wise. You have to do the work. You have to tell yourself, if you want a good body, I will stop eating these things. First of all, I will cut on junk. By then, do you realize that the sweetest things are the most toxic to our bodies? You have to get rid of junk. There is no way you'll keep eating junk and have a good body.
And you know, sometimes life lessons can force you into disciplined habits. Life lessons can force you into disciplined habits. I think more often than not, you don't want it to get there.
Yes.
You don't want it to get to a place of desperation where I've made bad choices.
Yes.
And now I need to start making good choices consistently, because it will take a very steep learning curve. It will be a very steep learning curve for you to change your brain, how your brain thinks, to first of all believe that you can even get back to baseline and now start working, living a different, entirely different life altogether, you know. So anticipate that there needs to be a certain level of structure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has to exist. And it is not easy, Steve. Even as I speak about it. The reason, if it was easy, everybody would be disciplined. It's the hardest thing to achieve is discipline. That's why monks are who they are.
Yeah.
Because discipline. That's why people are who they are, because of that discipline.
I was actually watching a reel about Tom Brady. You know Tom Brady, the quarterback? We don't watch American football, but we've heard of him. He's one of the most successful and well-renowned. Wameshinda sijui how many with the team that he was in. Now, I saw a reel that showcased his story about when he was trying for the team. He was nothing glamorous. Physical stature haikuwa mahali. He could not run. He actually put in one of the slowest tracks, running times on that field. He could not throw a ball with the right amount of spin, hange rusha for a long distance. And I don't know. You know, this is exactly what we're talking about in the last episode. I only knew Tom Brady, the superstar, the champion. Yeah. I didn't know his background until I saw that this person honestly did not start as anything spectacular. Hakuanza akiwa anything glamorous. And this is why I was saying sports is actually a really good domain to see discipline. However, that's not the only place that we should see it, but it's a place that we get really good lessons. So to see that person who was nothing glamorous, nothing spectacular, achieving what he has been able to achieve and becoming one of the best quarterbacks in American football, it's like, yeah, that is an interesting story. I want to see that. Uyo na Julius Yego tukae pamoja. We just have we just see what these stories are like, and because those are similar paths, kind of, you know, of people just getting in with a grind and being disciplined to achieve those results. Because those results now, the ones that spoke so loudly that now you can't ignore, now those are household names. In the US or wherever, even in Kenya, now a person who doesn't even watch American football knows who Tom Brady is because he has seen him in the news. Oh, they won the Super Bowl multiple times. Phelps, the swimmer.
Yes.
I was actually reading about his story as well, and how much time he spent swimming to be able to achieve. And when he would not swim or take training loosely, he would lose significant amount of time in his speed. You know,
okay.
He spent go read on Phelps as well, and how he was able to achieve those feats in swimming. These things they're not achieved as a result of, people don't just wake up special.
Yeah.
People don't just wake up special.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. For a child, when we think about if you think discipline is such a big word, such a huge, think about it as training, teaching. Think about it in molding. Think about it in those respects, because it becomes easier to conceptualize it. When they're a child, expose them to the world, but give them structure. When they grow older and they have abstract thinking, sit with them and show them the possibilities of where they could be if they did something consistently across time. So, for example, the 15-year-old boy who's currently being touted as a talent of the generation, playing for Arsenal in the Champions League already. And then you're like, this boy, there are a few things that can happen. There are a few paths that they can take. They can become that special boy. And in around 20, 23, 25, Akina Mbappe, they were wonder kids as well. They get to a place where they start getting those big moves, big money moves, winning glamorous prizes. They can be that. Or a few things, okay. There are a few other factors that have to be held constant. No injuries, for example, and such and such. And the right environment as well. But all things held constant, there is no reason why that boy who is a wonder kid and able to play for a senior team at 15 won't be able to win a Ballon d'Or when they come of age.
Yes.
And they are a full adult.
Yes.
You see? So when you expose them to that possibility when they are that age, when teenage brain, abstract thinking has developed. But when you show them the potential of what they can be, then it's so easy for them to now start to think, oh, so this, what I was doing as a child is supposed to get me to where this particular destination. And so it gets them more focused because that's exactly where you want them to be.
Yeah.
And then when you're an adult and it's now about maintaining, what are the other conditions around me that will help, will either make me continue in the path or lose the path and go a different path altogether? Do I need to maybe not be disciplined in terms of my sexual life? Do I need to be more disciplined in terms of maybe how I seek entertainment or pleasure and all these things? Do I need to keep self-improving? What are the weaknesses in my... Those are like, now it's about maintaining. And, when you're an adult, you're more attuned to what is at stake, because as an adult, you make your own independent choices. You beat someone out there, you will be incarcerated. You will be put in prison.
Yeah.
You drive loosely on the roads, or you decide to go take a drink, one for the road before heading out, and then you cause an accident and someone dies. Those are the implications. When an adult, those stakes are very, very clear in your head.
Yeah.
And
you realize in the world punishes people who are indisciplined. And it punishes them very ruthlessly. And rightly so, because I think indiscipline should be punished. Let's look at it from a relational kind of point of view. If you are indisciplined in your relationship, in the things that you allow and the things that you do not allow, your bare minimums, you are dating this young girl and you have not set boundaries is discipline. Boundaries is discipline. When you don't set boundaries as a man in the relationship from the word go, human beings have a tendency of always crossing, of always wanting more. If you get into a relationship with someone and you don't set a perimeter, you don't set a wall, they will want the whole world. They will want to go over the whole world.
Yeah.
So discipline is where you as a man, you say, let's say, for example, there are things that I will not entertain in this relationship. Like, for example, one that I like to talk about a lot is when your woman is involved with you but has a lot of male friends, which is a big red flag, a Chinese one. It's a huge red flag. It is. It is a huge red flag.
They won't like it. They will come for you in the comments.
Yes. No. It's a huge red flag. If you too many male friends and best friends is a huge red flag. You should stop there. I have very many male friends. That's a huge red flag. Don't believe me. You don't have to believe me, but you will see the effects. You see, I am an abundance mindset kind of person. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Our TikTok number is there. You can give us a call. But I've told you it's a red flag. If you don't emphatically believe, do you know that there are men who believe they don't like it? There are men dating women who have male friends. They don't like it. But they have no spine.
They have nothing to say about it.
They can't. Not that they have nothing. They have something to say.
But they can't say it.
They can't. They can't enforce a discipline. And you know how you enforce a discipline in such a scenario? The only strength a man has in relationship when disrespected or when their boundaries are crossed is the only thing they can do is walk away. That's the only power you have. You can't be violent.
No, you can't.
You can't be abusive.
You can't coerce. You can't.
Yes, you can't be toxic or manipulative. You walk away. That is something that men are not ready to do. And it is in discipline. Because had you had the guts or the spine or the strength to walk away, I'm telling you, she will cut the friends off. But sometimes even our ladies look at us and they say, this guy can't leave me. I have been in a place where someone has said that about their boyfriend. He's not able. He's unable to leave me. He's so indisciplined. Let me break this down for you. Njogona. He is so indisciplined that he cannot live. If you had that security as a man, let me ask you, Steve, it's not only about women. If you had someone in your life that you knew very well, that it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you tell them, they would never leave, how much abuse would you show them?
Yeah. We see it. Yeah,
you push it.
Yeah.
So sometimes indiscipline causes boundaries to be pushed. And like I like to say, some ladies or even some men, they push our boundaries without knowing. What you tolerate, you propagate. Isn't it? And even the Bible tells us, do not give the devil a foothold. He will take the whole field. So when you allow, when there is room to be indisciplined, the whole room is going to be indisciplined. It's like putting potatoes in a sack and there's one rotten one. Eventually, with time, all of them will rot. That's the kind of things those are the kind of things we're trying to tell, man. The discipline is very important. It determines everything. Discipline to do your work determines whether or not you perform. Determines whether or not you perform. Those of us who are in school, in campus, I'm in school, discipline to read and revise and read those papers
will be seen in the results.
It will be seen.
Results don't lie.
Yes. Why I like to talk to men so much and like to beat men up is because ladies have it, for lack of a better way to put it, have it a little easy. A little. I'm not saying it's easy. No. I'm not saying the life of a woman is easy. I'm saying it's a lot easier. Because ladies wait at the finish line and date the winner. That's one thing that goes for them. That's one card that they have. Their sexuality is one of their greatest currencies. It's actually the greatest currency. Their sexuality. You see? And that sexuality is so valued by men that they will conquer the world for it. They will conquer the world.
Yeah.
If you just sat down and ask yourself, why do people work hard really? Why?
Oh, men are simple creatures. Let me tell you.
Men are very simple.
They're very simple creatures. Yeah.
You see? And they will conquer the world. So I'm saying, that's why I say the world is brutal towards men. It is a bit easier. There are women who face it rough. There are those who face it rough. There are those who go through the life cycle of a man, depending on the environment.
Yeah.
But it is very difficult to find a very pretty lady. It is difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's difficult to find a very pretty lady who would just keep herself well and struggle. It's very difficult. There are those who struggle, but it's difficult. Why? Because their currency, their value, as of first importance, is their sexuality. Men don't sit down in a restaurant and see a beautiful lady and wonder how many PhDs she has. No man thinks like that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, by the way.
No man sits down.
It's like, I don't know, what's the saying of like this? flowers in a farm.
Yeah.
I saw a flower in your garden. You know, that flower stood out. Why?
Yes.
Because it was attractive to the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
You know.
When a man looks at a woman, any man who has blood going on, now there is self-control. There's those who don't have self-control and those who have. But when a man, and this is God's doing,
Yeah.
when a man looks at a woman, the reaction is the same reaction in the Garden of Eden. This is flesh of my flesh, this is bone
of my bone.
And you know that if you read it in its Hebrew, it was like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. That's the interpretation. That's the interpretation.
Hey, poets.
Yes. So when men are looking at ladies, because the society is lying to our women, that men are really, now sometimes they target strong women. That men really are afraid of strong women.
Yeah.
No, they are not. As a matter of fact, you could be well read. You could have your finances together as a woman. You could have everything going on for you. If you meet a man at the same level, financial level as you, they will not ask you for your money. You will spend his. They will want you to spend his. So when society is telling our ladies to prioritize getting the degrees, getting the masters, getting all those things, which are good, advancing their career at the expense of one of the most topmost thing. Relationship between men and women
is very fundamental.
It is is the
primary.
It's at the apex. There is no other bonding as strong as relational bonding.
It is craved. It's only maybe where the people who don't have that desire, and
even if you bought a car,
and those are the exception.
Yes.
To
even
the
if you bought, even if your parking lot had 10 cars, 10 very high end cars, you would not bond with them the way you would bond with a woman. And I'm not talking about sex only. I'm just talking about that bonding. So this is why I tell men, discipline is very important. Because when you're disciplined, even in your relationship, the kind of women you will attract, the kind of women you'll have very quality relationships. You'll have very quality business partners. You'll have very quality circle of friends. Why? Because they would come after someone who is like their own. But if you are indisciplined, if you are chaotic, those are the people that will be. Have you ever seen there are some people who their life is just surrounded with chaos? It's just chaos.
Yeah.
It's just drama after drama. Go to if you want, you will not scroll even three posts on Instagram. There are people who, when you see them, it's drama. Robert Greene says that avoid the unfortunate. Avoid them. So when you discipline yourself, you attract other disciplined people, be it the opposite gender, be it friends, be it business partners, your circle of friends. If you are a quiet, calm person, you realize that your life is relatively quiet and calm all through. And that's the product of discipline.
We'll get to a place in this conversation where we'll try to unpack some of the myths about like discipline, because some have ascribed discipline to being something that's only a feature in select personalities, and I think that's a lie from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
That it's only maybe this type A personality person that can be disciplined. The others can't, and then it's a victim mindset kind of that people adopt now and be like, oh, I can't be disciplined. It's because I'm this type of personality. And I think that's a lie. And there is no scientific backing to prove that is a feature. So we'll look at 3 stories as is the trend in this podcast. We look at stories of people in history who have held that particular trait or have showcased it. And normally, if you have showcased it and you tend to do exploits and brilliant things, you will be in history. You'll be documented.
Yeah.
And there are 3 individuals that I stumbled upon when looking at, today I have 3 stories. Tumekuwa na moja. Now we have 3. 2 are of Japanese individuals, and one is one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, Benjamin Franklin, who will zero in as the last one. So the first one is a Japanese swordsman. Japan, by this is a very interesting culture.
Exactly.
If you want to see discipline, by the way, Ebu look at how those people live.
Japanese, yes.
Someone was saying that there is the equivalent of their ETC system, like kuvuka certain, so supposed to pay ukivuka kwa hiyo highway. They apparently that toll station ilikuwa imeharibika, so it couldn't like people could pass without necessarily paying. All the people who use that road and it could not get the reading and still paid.
They
paid even when, imagine that thing happens on the expressway.
If a lorry carrying cement gets into an accident, people steal cement. Someone who's never built.
He has no plan for that cement.
He has no plan.
Yeah. But there is cement.
You
there.
Just see people going to loot that cement.
I don't know whether it was the previous World Cup where the culture is very interesting to observe. I don't know if it's the previous World Cup. You see that when it's a Japanese fixture against another country, and then the game has ended, there's usually a lot of litter people have left around in the stadium. That is usually the job of the cleaners, perhaps the staff, to do. The Japanese people don't leave that place without picking up that trash.
Really?
They don't leave.
Yes, I hear that. I have seen in posts that Japan is very clean. That it is one of the it is a crime to throw to litter.
Cleanest places.
I hear it's a crime, serious crime to litter.
Yeah. And some of those
maybe Mary Alex will
she'll tell us.
That's why she doesn't want to leave to come back.
And that's why those countries are
come back, Mary. Yeah?
You're very protective over what they have built, the structures they have in place. That's why you will see people say the foreign policies, they don't want people to come in and flock as immigrants. Of course they don't want.
Yes.
Because they don't know what your culture is.
Yes.
And you might come and perverse their culture.
They are very strict rules on immigration.
They do have strict rules on immigration. They have started to be loose in recent times, especially with respect to their aging demographic and them needing to
have
a working population, because now the majority are in because that's also something that you can't do away with in our society. We need to procreate for there to be continuity. Yes. But now you find that there are more people who are older, who are in the aged, and so that they need working class people too. So there are people going to universities in there, like Akinamiri and the likes. So yeah, there's a lot of cultural exchange happening. However, they're still very strict about how you're supposed to behave in that place. And they retain those fundamental traditional customs that they usually put in place, especially about some that have been passed down generations, about even certain crafts have still been preserved and are being used to, even if it's in furniture, in some form of calligraphy, in some form of art. That's how they're able to retain those things. And I think that takes a lot of discipline. And some would say we lack a bit of that, especially in...
Not a bit.
We lack a lot of that.
Yeah.
In Africa. Me, honestly, there's times I usually see some people, kwa gari unaona tu mtu ametupa tu some trash, and you're like, what is that surely?
We lack discipline. Really, we do. And first thing is we need to understand that let me say the Kenyan mentality is it's someone else's job. Si analipwa. So I'll throw trash because somebody is paid to.
And then they'll ask you, why do you care about whether I throw or don't throw trash? Why? How does it bother you?
Yes. We are the product of what we... Garbage in, garbage out.
And that is problematic. Yeah. That's what we need to change.
So, very problematic.
These 2 stories. Miyamoto Musashi was a Japanese swordsman born in 1584. That's quite some years back, centuries back. By age 13, now this is in the age of the samurai, he fought his first duel. And over his lifetime, he engaged in more than 60 duels without defeat. So this guy wasn't just a fighter, he was a strategist, artist, and a writer. Apparently, he lived a very austere life, a very simple life, training relentlessly, sleeping very little, and constantly refining his technique. And his classic work, The Book of Five Rings, lays out principles of combat and strategy that came from decades of disciplined practice. So this guy embodied self-control, constant learning, and simplicity so that he could master his craft. He had one single focus: I will never lose a duel.
Okay.
Right? So from the age of 13, fought his first duel. And those were serious duels, those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And never lost even a single one. The second one is a Japanese chef by the name Jiro Ono. He's actually probably 100 years by now because he was born in 1925.
Still alive?
I think he must be still alive.
Okay.
He's considered one of the world's greatest sushi chefs. Even in his 90s, apparently, he still wakes up early and works long hours to teach other sushi chefs about his craft. He earned 3 Michelin stars. That's the highest like whatever, what is it, accolade that you can be given,
Okay.
in a sense, as a chef recognition, and you can earn that in multiple. So this one particularly just for making sushi. And what's striking is his relentless daily pursuit of excellence. Decades of refining every moment of his craft. In the documentaries, there's a documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. You see him and his apprentices repeating tasks thousands of times until they have achieved perfection. Thousands of times. So you can see already.
Yeah.
You can see already how he's passing down his legacy. And last but not least, we have Benjamin Franklin. Born in 1706. This guy was many things. An inventor, writer, diplomat, and one of the founding fathers of the United States. Not only a Declaration of Independence. He was one of the people who penned it down. The American Constitution, one of the people who penned it down. He has written multiple treaties. Diplomat to ambassador to the French from the US. Like he's one person who, what set him apart is his deliberate cultivation of discipline. And he started as an apprentice in a printing station. He was used to write, refining how he wrote, and constantly changing up what can we write, what can we do. And he did so many, many novel things. Look up his history. And he is the person on the $100 bill.
Oh, yeah.
Benjamin Franklin, yeah? On the $100 bill, if you have it, hopefully, tutaiona at some point. Yes, he is the face on the $100 bill. So he created a system of 13 virtues. Things like temperance, industry, and humility, and tracked them daily in a small notebook. Each week, he would focus on one virtue, systematically working through them over and over. This practice helped him build habits of thrift, productivity, and moral character that shaped his life. Now, these 13 virtues are very interesting. And when I think about this line here, it was about this time that I conceived the bold and arduous project of arriving at moral perfection. Now, that is a journey that is very steep and a very steep climb. You will never arrive at moral perfection. So he wished to live without committing any fault at any time, and that he would conquer all the natural inclinations. Either natural inclinations, custom, or company might lead me into. So he just wanted to be very, very disciplined. And even though he admits not to have arrived at perfection, he considered that journey worthwhile.
Okay.
And I think one of the things that you will realize even on that journey is, how inept sometimes we are, and, how many failings we have, and how those failings don't define us and can help us become stronger.
Yeah.
And over time, when Christ is the vision, Christ is the embodiment of perfection. When you have that as the ultimate goal, and you have surrendered to him, and it becomes easier to adopt such practices, because I think these are very, very, very biblical. So there's 13 virtues, and I will get to them. But first of all, I just want you to, from these 3 people that I've mentioned, what are you getting? What are you seeing as a denominator, striking denominator?
I think that virtue of them having one singular goal and working towards it with everything they've got.
Yeah.
Them pushing, like this swordsman who didn't lose any duel, and he was involved in so many. He did not win because his opponents were weak. He won because he was better than them. And he continued to win because he continued staying better than them. And one thing that I get from this is, in whatever we have put our mind to do, this is what I do, Steve. And this is something that I personally apply in my life. I outwork anyone who is below me. I do it deliberately. I look at the most hardworking person in any organization, whether I'm heading it or leading it, in whatever way. I look at the most hardworking person, I come and make him the second most hardworking person. And I have come to realize that you can learn anything. You can have, as long as you are focused on a singular goal. This is my goal. I want to, like this guy who making the best sushi at 90 years old, still waking up every day.
I think he didn't even start like in culinary school. He was a cleaner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Waking up every day and working long hours. Yet there are some 40-year-olds right now who would not sit down for 4 hours. They will say, I'm too tired and all these things. These two people are competing in different ways. We are competing with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, who is also a man. Just know that. When you wake up in the morning, you're competing with them. Are they not flesh and blood?
They are.
Are they not men?
They're men.
Are they not same age as some of us? You're competing with them. But the reason why he is who he is and you're who you are is because of what you put. Sometimes we say it's opportunity. Yes, opportunity plays a role. But in your small field, God has a way of finding you out. When Samuel had come to anoint the king of Israel, and he called Jesse, and he told him to bring his sons. Jesse had, I don't know if Jesse had his sons, and he brought them and he paraded them before Samuel. They were men of war. They were well dressed in military regalia. And as he looked at them, they all looked like men who would lead any nation. And as they were going one by one and God rejecting them, David was so insignificant that his father did not remember he had him. Do you know how insignificant you ought to be, that your own father does not recall that he has you as a child? And the guy was in the wilderness.
Attending to sheep.
Yeah. Now, his discipline in the wilderness was that he protected his sheep.
Not one of them was lost. Yeah.
That's why he even wrote Psalm 23, Lord is my shepherd.
Yeah.
He protected his sheep in the wilderness. When bears would come, he would strike them. When lions would come, he would fight them. Now, there are these military men training to fight men, but this guy is in the wilderness. Nobody's watching him, but he's fighting even more ferocious beasts than these guys. He's getting better training in worse conditions than these other guys. I'm not saying that God chose him because of the military, of his strength or all those things. But you can see
he was being equipped.
Yes, he was being equipped. So he comes and he's anointed king. He ends up becoming a better fighter than his brothers. We don't hear of his brothers much after that. Because he sets himself apart. He becomes a man of war. That's why when the day other kings went to fight and he decided to stay home, he slept with another person's wife. Because his exploits were in military, in fighting. That's how David had identified himself. The phrase was, Saul has killed thousands.
But David is tens of
David has killed tens of thousands. That was what he is known for. You will be known by your discipline. By what? By your discipline. That is what people will build, whatever narrative they will build around you. is based on who you are. And let me tell you, Steve, if you are a disciplined person, even people who hate you, they will continue to hate you, but they will respect you. They'll continue to hate you, but they will respect you. Because you live your life in certain irreducible minimums. Another irreducible minimum I usually have is don't waste my time. Nowadays, I've started just becoming wasting my time. But it's something I use. And I've seen when you have it as a discipline, and not as a verbal discipline. You know, there is verbal discipline and there is discipline. Virtue must be tested. I keep saying this. Virtue must be tested. You cannot say you are a patient man,
Yeah.
Steve, if you have not been tested with impatience. It is when you're tested with impatience and you end up becoming patient that then you can say you're a patient man.
Yeah.
There are people who are patient because they've not gotten to the point where, or they think they are patient because they've not gotten to a point where their impatience has been tested. You cannot say you are an honest person when it comes to money unless you've been tested with dishonesty. There are people who are only honest because they have nothing to steal. There is nothing to steal. If they got the opportunity to steal, they would be thieves.
Virtue is tested.
Virtue must be tested. So if you are, there are people who are only courageous because they have not been in those places, or they're behind a camera. You know, I can feign courage behind this
I
camera.
remember that line. Was it a Mike Tyson one? Everyone has an opinion until someone gets punched in the
Yes, everyone has an opinion until you get punched in the face. That's a funny one.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're punched in the face, your opinions don't matter. It's like one Vodibokam, the late. He gave an example that has stuck with me through my life. He says 2 knights approach each other at the medieval times. Knight A and Knight B. They approach each other during those times. So one knight draws his sword and points it to the other knight. And the other knight tells him, I don't believe in thine sword. Now, he says, there are 2 choices here. One, this knight can take his sword, put it down, and start schooling this guy on what metals are and how dangerous it is. Option 2, cut him. It won't matter. He will believe in his wounds. You see?
Yeah.
So virtue must be tested. And all these people, if you put them in one, their common denominator is the discipline to keep doing what they have been doing.
They set themselves a target.
Yes.
They decided
and they continue
to
to do it.
Do you know, I look at certain things such people have done, and I'm usually like lost for words. I feel that rebuke hits home because I think, why do they have more than 24 hours in a day for them to be able? When I look at, I just wonder. Look at some family man who is able to maintain his family, is able to keep his business afloat, is able to lead his children and be there as a motivator, is able to disciple other men and and also follow Christ. And when I look at that person, I'm just like, does this person have more, or do they just have discipline and I don't have? Because I think that could be the easy explanation.
They just have
They
discipline.
just have
and
discipline
you don't have.
and I don't have.
Yes.
Because they don't have more than 24 hours in a day.
Yes. They just have discipline and you don't have.
Yeah.
We had started a weight loss journey with a friend of mine. I know he will see this, and this is a rebuke to him to style up, and he will see it. We started our weight loss journey together.
Yeah.
And we started with the gym.
Yeah.
And he has added more. Down the line, he's added more. Because you see, if you don't do the hard stuff,
Yeah.
you are going to see it and you're going to experience it rough. nobody is going to look your way, and people are going to test you as much as possible.
Yeah.
People are going to cross your boundaries. People are not going to believe you.
Mm.
You might as well have something that you stand for, that you believe it with all your heart, and move with it.
Yeah.
Because one last thing, let me say just one last thing about indiscipline I've seen. People pleasers. People pleasers. It's a very subtle form of indiscipline. People are not that nice, Steve. I will tell you, people are not that nice. If you see a nice guy is lying. A nice guy is a chief manipulator. People are not that nice. The Bible tells us that the heart of man is desperately wicked. The qualities of man, unless the Lord intervenes, and even when he intervenes, we still experience them and struggle with them, is we are selfish, naturally. Anyone who tells you they are selfless, red flag. That's the first red flag you check. So, we ought to understand that yes, we have weaknesses. But these weaknesses that we have, or these shortcomings that we have, are not necessarily an excuse for us to be indisciplined.
Yeah.
Because people pleasers, this is what they do. They want people to approve them. They want people to say good things about them. They want people to acknowledge them. They live their life in a very indisciplined way for the likes. Did you see that guy who ate himself to death?
Wow.
He's a content creator.
What do you mean?
He was a content creator. So many of them have died. They just start eating and film. And he had millions of followers. He would eat. He would sit down. He ate to the point he could not wake up from his feet, from his chair.
And he died.
Yes.
Because who do you think you are?
You're pleasing those people.
Yeah.
As they are clapping for you and telling you body positivity, you're dying. So, that is one of a very subtle form of indiscipline. Because if you're a people pleaser, you will tolerate the things you don't like in your relationship for the sake of peace. You will tolerate things you don't like in your business for the sake of peace. You'll tolerate the things you don't want in your body for the sake of peace and for the sake of approval of others.
You know what? This has been a very interesting conversation. We've been going on for quite a significant amount of time, and it feels as though we've just scratched the surface. When I look at my notes, there is so much we have not covered.
We can come back to it.
Because we need to do this
Again.
There's the 13 virtues that we haven't talked about, the Benjamin Franklin. We can unpack them more intently. And I just want to thank everyone who has sat with us throughout this entire episode. I hope it has evoked some thinking in you about like discipline in your life. Like, what is the evidence of it? This is a question I'll leave you with even as you wait for part 2 of this. What is the evidence of discipline in your life? And what is it that is your singular focus, that is your target, that you are aiming at, and you are not necessarily feeling as though you have been doing the right things to try and achieve that goal? So those are some questions I can leave you with even as you ponder. And for men out there, let's work at it objectively and stay tuned for what we'll be covering next in this particular trait called discipline. Yeah, so see you on the next one.
Peace.